let's talk Shanahan. A lot of people, I think, are starting to be a little down on him. They're a little frustrated. They see how well Robert Saleh is doing with a shorthanded defense, and they look at Shanahan and say, "We have very high standards for you. You're the best. Your offense should be holding up the bargain with the defense." And like one of my guys on all 49ers, Nick Newman, who's fantastic, just went after the Niners last night mercilessly. And then on 95.7 locally, two of my friends, Bonte Hill and Butcher Boy Joe Shasky, just reamed Kyle Shanahan. And normally, like, I'm the head of that brigade. Like, I've been criticizing Kyle Shanahan since before that was even popular. But I kind of give him a pass for what's been going on recently. I do have high expectations after the bye, but I don't see today as the day to go after Kyle. I still have a high opinion of him. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't understand why people are like going after him. First of all, there's a difference between the amount of talent that Robert Saleh has still than the amount of talent Kyle Shanahan has. I think people need to that's a fact, right? This Niners regime has invested a lot more into their defense than they have into their offense, whether it be draft capital, money, all these kinds of things, right? So that's one fact. In my opinion, it is a fact. I mean,
I don't know if it's a fact. I think it's debatable. I think we can
go down the picks. I mean, if you start from even Balky in 2015, because they've kept a lot of those first round picks, right? Whether it's Armstead, Jaquiski Tartt, excuse me.
Yeah.
Jimmy Ward.
Better get that right.
Yeah. DeForest Buckner, all these guys, right? They've kept these guys, and they're operating with Kerry Hyder, who's had an 8.5 sack season. I mean, Javon Kinlaw was the 14th overall pick. DJ Jones is going to get signed for a pretty big contract somewhere. Fred Warner, like, I think the thing with Robert Saleh is that I think this defense would be totally different if Fred Warner wasn't playing, right? So if you lost Fred Warner and Bosa, which to me it's like Kyle losing Kittle and Debo, then you would see a totally different defense. But this is a team, right? Why would we want to evaluate Kyle versus Saleh?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. They're on the same team.
That's moot. Yeah. It's moot.
Yeah.
They try to play team football.
Yeah.
So when we're talking just Kyle Shanahan, I just don't understand when everybody just like is like, oh, he stinks. That 4th and 1 play call, he should have called X, Y, Z. He should have done this, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's the easiest thing to do in the world. Like, all right, I saw the play call. I saw that it didn't work. Now I'll tell you what will work. Hold
on. No, you're right. You're right. But in my defense, I'm the best football analyst in the world. And in my defense, thanks. On the second one, where they went 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, it's on Twitter. After the 3rd and 1, I said Juszczyk wasn't even on the field for that. You know what I would have said. I think it's fair to say
you're not criticizing the play call, right? You're criticizing the personnel. You're asking.
Well, I'm also saying on 4th and 1, I would have called an inside trap for Juszczyk instead of a shotgun run for McKinnon. But again, those are minor quibbles. Right. And I feel like with an excellent coach like Kyle Shanahan, you can go to the minor quibble level because he's beyond other things. He's so good.
Get into the nuance of execution, right?
Yeah.
Was this call the right call? And did these two guys block correctly? Did McKivitz block that play correctly? So there's too much nuance for me to get into individual play calls. What you can say is
crush Kyle because of one call in one game. It's like, wait, let's step back.
Yeah.
Let's step back. He's still a coach who maximizes the talent he has. And in this game, I don't see what game plan he could have put together that would have got them more than.
Well, the game plan was right on, right? The idea was perfect.
But they didn't have the running backs to execute it.
Right. He just wanted the entire game plan was hold the football and get to 3rd and short. That was the game plan. And they executed that game plan for about a quarter and a half.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
Then some turnovers happened, some things happened, and the limits of their offense were very much revealed. I don't know why, I don't know what the expectation is. Did you not watch the Saints last week? I think we all agree that Todd Bowles is one of the best D coordinators in the NFL. And they lost Vita Vea, which is starting to really hurt them as a defense, and their defense with Carlton Davis is playing kind of hurt and all of those things. But they're a good defense, and the Saints should have scored on every single position. possession last week. They were a Jared Cook fumble and a Jared Cook drop away from scoring on every single possession.
Yep.
For a touchdown. So did you not see what this offense can do and what this team, how good this team is? And did you really expect a JV squad to go and walk into that building and give them all they could handle? The Niners played hard. They played great football. It was a much closer game than 27-10, right? It was much closer.
I mean, the special teams turned the game. Nick Mullins' interceptions were bad too, but they happened in the second half when they were already down 2-3 scores.
The first one was rough. The second one
was rough. Yeah, it was definitely rough. But that game was getting away from them at that point anyway. They weren't going to win that game. They were undermanned, and I was surprised they had the talent to pull off, to execute that defensive game plan, but they just didn't have it on offense. If they'd had Savon Ahmed at running back, God knows what could have happened. But when your only running back that you trust is averaging 1.8 yards per carry, it's just tough. What are you going to do?
And they were selling out, right? They were selling out. It's the game plan that I talked about earlier, right? They were selling out they were blitzing everywhere to sell out, to stop this run game and stop this. And they wanted to put the game in Nick Mullins' hands. And Kyle wasn't willing to put it in Nick Mullins' hands. He didn't want to expose him like that with this offensive line. And
you shouldn't.
So,
you got to be careful with Nick Mullins. It's not
right. Everything wins. Like, he had the right idea and the right plan. They just couldn't execute it.
Franco Gomez says, stay the QB position we're in, fire sale and trade positions, Tart, CJ, Beathard, Tevin, Garland, and more, build O-line, and look at next year's draft for QBs. I just don't think the Niners are looking at tanking or fire saling. I think they're thinking they're still a premier team and franchise that's had injuries, and if they get healthy again, they're going to go on a run because they have the best coaching staff in the NFC. That's how they think.
Yeah, I don't think they
can compete with. They can win games with a JV squad. They've done it this year.